Hello, welcome to Behind the Words, where we take Western people like myself and Byron and we try to watch Chinese videos with subtitles of varying levels to try to understand what was said.
I am Byron from the UK and I am in the whistleblower movement, but as a Westerner, sometimes I have difficulties understanding certain things from the Chinese culture. So this show, we are trying to understand some videos that are in Chinese with subtitles. I'm giving my perspective as a Westerner from the UK, and we have also Pistachio. Introduce yourself, please.
Thank you very much, Byron. I am Pistachio. I am an American, and I lived in China for a little while, so I have some Chinese ability. I would say like conversational at best. But that being said, I'm not very well versed in some dialects, specifically the Northern speak. So I have some cultural knowledge, some background, but not complete. And I'm going to be giving perspectives of somebody who's American as well as an expat who was inside of China. Next, we have EK.
Hello, everyone. I'm probably one of the misfit in this outfit. So anyway, I'm here just to make up the numbers and to see if I can make anything interesting for everyone. That's me.
So everyone who's watching, I'm the baseline of where this starts from.
Yes, actually, that's pretty accurate.
HolyNuts.
Okay, so I am Chinese. I came from China, and I can speak Cantonese and Mandarin like EK. I am more like not the baseline. I say things in a crazy way. I'm trying to make a point. But you can tell from our names, HolyNuts, imagine this is like take things not serious. Try to have a little bit more like, fun to look at what we do.
Let's just, this is going to be horrendous for me.
You can do it.
Oh, right, okay, I see what you did. Right, that's cool. Here we go. She looks very interesting on the right.
Byron, are you taking notes?
No, because last time I just scribbled.
Wasn't effective enough.
I couldn't even read what I wrote. Here we go, let's go.
Okay. Are you ready?
Ready.
大概有20几个战友跟我联系，开始去来存自己的卵子。到昨天晚上为止，差1个900，已经存了这全球化的，年龄都是最好的，经过医生鉴定的。例如大家都熟知的 Q 妹，就是一个在去年开始就已经在 Alex 医生的指导下，到纽约的医院开始进行检查。测试各种指标都是非常非常健康的，他已经开始存自己的卵子了。他一次大概能取20几个卵子，但是能用10个5个。另外一个我们日本那个双胞胎，孩子才21岁，人家已经是取了4次了，最多一次40多个卵子，选出了20几个存了，而且是在日本最好的学校，特别好。我们在新西兰的一个战友也已经存了3次卵子了，每次也是存20个，非常好。咱们这800、900个战友的卵子出来了，他们说7个都捐给新中国联邦，都准备好捐的，就咱们新中国联邦有这么多卵子了。你算这些卵子1万块钱一个，值多少钱？2万、5万值多少钱？我们战友们都捐给战友是一回事儿。我们要允许别人来，我们要有大人类的一个计划，而且不能有这个人太多倾向，而且人要放下几个执着。第一，你的卵子跟你子女没关系，你的精子跟你子女没有关系，这是你这个责任，这是你这个信仰，你不要带着那种传统的思想、亲缘、遗传、家庭，跟那个没关系。这是你神圣的使命，是上天留了你一条命，你应该对人类做的事情，不应该仅限于新中国联邦。再一个，我不觉得这么昂贵稀有的东西被哪部分所拥有不公平，所以我从去年就开始想这个事儿，怎么能把这事儿整明白它啊？因为就像我们5、6年前爆料一样，你觉得我们傻叉， 像这个避风港救人救命一样，叫你吃药，救那么多人，人家觉得我们神经病，现在都证明我们是伟大的。所以说，我们要再次把我们坚信、执着、拯救人类的，对中国人、对全世界好的，当然对新中联邦好的，要把这事坚持下去。那我们经过各种科学论证，我觉得平台第一重要。
Okay. That one was definitely easier than last week. I'm going to let you go first, Pistachio.
Before we go, I just want to say something
Okay.
Go.
very sincere and seriously.
Okay.
Byron, from now
This is
on,
rare. Go for it.
you need to jerk off responsibly.
Oh, I knew it wasn't going to be serious. I knew it. I just did. Why did I fell for it as well?
It's a heavy responsible to jerk off right now. You know, don't waste it.
Why do you think my right arm's so big? I've been doing it for you guys. I'm not doing it. This is for everyone.
Yeah, so actually that's a good point. What the video was actually talking about.
Yeah,
So first of
let's get
all,
serious.
this video was talking about preserving, specifically in this section, eggs, ovum,
Yeah,
as I've seen it,
really.
but also, sperm as well, because as the vaccine disaster starts to evolve, I would say, the ability to have healthy babies and for people to not have health problems, I think, is going to increase. This is the idea behind this in my mind. So right now there are about 900 people inside of the whistleblower movement who are female, who have donated their eggs thus far that are being preserved. He talked a little bit about a few people who have donated multiple times, which was a little bit shocking to me, just knowing the process that goes into it. Some people have donated 2 to 4 times already, but his point was they were prepared to donate these as a almost like an asset for the whistleblower movement, because people are obviously supporting the idea of not being vaccinated inside this movement. And right now the price is about $10,000 per egg. I actually think it's probably going to get higher than that. And as a result, if it's about 20 eggs, usually maximum per donation, 900 people, $10,000 per egg, it's quite a hefty fee. But the point is that Miles is saying that it shouldn't just be a donation. This is something that belongs to the people, and they should have the right to sell it, but like kind of in an honorable way, so to speak. He was going on a little bit about, the translation was like a holy mission, which I'm not really sure about that. I think he's trying to say it's it's a good thing for the society. And then he was saying something about a haven too, so those parts I'm not quite clear. Byron, if you want to jump in.
Yeah, pretty much I got the same kind of thing. I got a little bit confused with the haven bit, and he mentioned God, but as an atheist, I don't really care if he mentions God. If he's doing it for God, I don't care. If he's doing something good, does it matter if they're doing it for the God or not? It's basically we're doing something good. Some people are going to say we're on God's mission. Some people are just saying we're on a good mission. It doesn't make no difference to the mission. It's just people's incentive. So it doesn't really matter to me. I think it's a great thing. It's obvious that they're talking about eggs, because it's like you said, it's much more of an ordeal for to getting the eggs out of a woman. Asking men to donate sperm, as you can imagine, is very easy. I don't think many men are going to. I don't think many men are going to be opposed to it. This one was relatively good. It was talking about quite a simple topic. There might have been some very small, intricate bits I missed out on, but it seems to be the only bit I was a little bit confused about was the God and the haven. But I think that's just a personal choice of the incentive of doing it. And the price, though, the price was very. I was surprised at the price. You say you think it could go higher. I think that price is quite high. It's already. But he also mentioned the fact that he believes no one
maybe the
should have
eggs,
control
not the
of it.
sperms.
Yeah, I get that.
The haven thing is just one of the show. Another show is talk about like actually the doctor will be another person.
So that's what the haven is.
So Miles say that in the beginning they talk about like the vaccine, all that thing. People think they're crazy. Finally, people now realize they were not crazy.
How about was the translation of like holy mission? Is that is that how that was translated?
I think what he's trying to say is not really like holy. It's more like a sacred mission. So it's not only doing that internally for the state of China. So he's thinking about trying to share this whole resource for everyone is doing it for humanity. So the translation may be a bit more excited to turn into
He
holy,
did
but
say inside it, like, as well as the NFSC and the whistleblower movement, he did say like outside people out. So it's for everyone. Like I say, it's for humanity. And you know, he mentions God every now and again, and you know, that's up to him.
God is the name, right? It's like aluminum and aluminum, right? So in
Say that again, HolyNuts.
I know it's a Chinese accent. That's why I'm trying to say it to you. Like in China, we have a different name for that. We might call it Tao. We might call it nature. And in the West, they call it God. In India, they call it Brahma. It's just the name. All right. Don't take it too serious.
One more point that I want to just clarify on, because it could kind of be misinterpreted, I think, by the West. He was talking about the ideas of the typical societal structure, like the ideas of family, relations. None of that, quote unquote, matters anymore in the translation. But I think what he's trying to say is that those types of interpretations of relationships are going to transform given the type of difficulty our societies are going to have in the face of this vaccine disaster. So we're going to have kind of a different way that people will interpret relationships. And I mean, this already happens. Like people who are not considered, you know, your blood family, you might consider as your family, very close individuals in your life. This isn't uncommon, but I think it's going to become even more so as time goes on, because there are going to be so few healthy people, and there's going to be a certain way that relationships form, if I'm understanding it correct.
Yeah, that sounds right to me. And I've just had a little thought, like, who's going to use these eggs? Because obviously we don't need the eggs. No one in the whistleblower movement, or very little people in the whistleblower movement or the NFSC need these eggs. We haven't been vaccinated. So it's like, you know, not to say like I told you so, but you know, most of the people who are wanting these eggs are people who have had to get the vaccination.
The people who have enough money to pay it, I would say.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. It's gonna be a bidding thing, I
They're
think.
gonna have to have good jobs, but I mean, they're obviously only needing it because they themselves have been vaccinated, I'm guessing.
Miles' plan is actually using the Gather platform as like an auction platform, so people can auction with the eggs and certain things. In the future, I would imagine will be like everyone have their own channel. Everyone can do like an auction in a way, because like if I'm gonna donate my eggs, I don't have one, but you know, my sperms, I wouldn't just give it out because someone had money.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Is like I think that your auction requirements, it shouldn't just be.
Would.
You're like, it's okay. Money is okay with me.
No, just like I want someone actually understand how important these things should be. Like, how can you raise your child in the future, like in proper way, normal?
Well, there should. Yeah. I think there should be some standards to like who is quote unquote fit. I don't really think you can make that decision. Everybody has their own
I've got
reasons.
2 children, and when I had my first child, I was not ready. And you are never ready. You can say you're just never ready. And you know, so if I look at myself back when I had my first kid, I'd have thought to myself, this guy here he should be having kids. And I shouldn't.
Actually, that is okay.
But you know, after the first year or so, you change. So I mean, that's impossible.
I'm more worried about.
I'm glad.
I think they are ready, and they're ready wrong. There's quite a lot of people. Like, for example, my mom should never have kids, in my opinion.
Well,
I think some people might agree, HolyNuts.
Yeah, I know.
I'm joking.
Right.
But the point is, I think that you can decide, you know, if you want to be the person that gives or, you know, sells these, I'm going to call them assets again as a whole. You can choose how you want it. If you want just money for it, that's fine. If you want certain other prerequisites, I think that's fine too. Just make sure you know what you want. I mean, realistically, like if you're donating 20 eggs and 10 of them survive, right? I'm not looking to have 10 kids in my life. That's not going to happen for me. So
yeah, my point is that it shouldn't be only money. In my opinion, some people might not have enough money, but they should have kids.
So you mean More
It's-
like
as long as
the
it goes-
procedure of like when you're adopting a child. It's not just
Yeah.
like, here's some money, I want to adopt your kid. It's like, I need to vet you and make sure you're good
Yeah,
enough to
something
have
like
my
that, I would
genes
say.
inside your body. You want
Or
to vet
even just
people,
like
HolyNuts.
maybe
Yeah.
some people don't have money, but they really want to have a kid and
Yeah.
they want to raise their
should have
kid
it.
the right way and they just don't have the opportunity. I see that too.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
So
like,
it shouldn't be
most
just
people,
money.
Most people with a lot of money, they're not the best people as well, because most of them are career driven. That's why they've got loads of money. So,
Mhm.
you know, it's not just about money, but at the same time, you know, the eggs is a bit different for, you know, the sperm. We could blast out thousands of kids every day. So, I mean, it don't really matter.
That's what you
Don't
think.
really matter to
Okay,
the
that's what you
blokes. Millions anyway.
You think
Yeah.
you might best out just water.
Although I think Miles did say, in my mind, I was like, oh, the eggs are definitely going to be more expensive than the sperm in the future.
I should hope so.
But he says no. He says they're going to be about the same price given how many
Really?
people are vaccinated. Yeah, I know. Weird, right?
Cha-ching for me.
You're like, I'm fine with that.
One thing I was a
But-
little bit unsure about is like you said earlier about everyone having like a platform and get it to auction your eggs or your sperm off. I mean, isn't that going to, you're going to pick what you want? You know, it's like gene selection, you know, when you can pick, you know, the best gene from your sperm or something. They can do all these crazy things now where you can almost design your own baby. Like, think of it
Wow,
from
really?
me, from my point of view. I mean, in the West, if you want Western sperm, most people want someone to be 6 foot. Guess what? I'm not 6 foot, so then no one's going to buy mine. So then
Well,
I'm going to have
that's
to
I think
lie.
it's just going to be like have, don't have at this point. Like, are you vaccinated, not vaccinated, right? That's going to be like the prerequisite. And I mean, they were talking about if you're a model, models can sell their eggs or sperm at a higher cost because, you know, people are worried about the looks. But it's not about that. Some people aren't going to care about that. Some people are just going to care like the characteristics of someone, right? And there's an argument about nature versus nurture. But I think it's also just going to be so rare to have people who are going to have healthy ability to have children. It's just gonna,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a huge problem. And even with getting COVID, we don't know yet if there are going to be long-term repercussions to the reproductive system if people got COVID.
Well,
Never
let
mind
me
the
ask
vaccine.
EK how you solve that problem they mentioned.
I would say let nature take its course.
Okay.
You know, Byron, in China, we call nature, the translation can be God too. So just throwing right there.
Noted.
It-
Noted.
If that's one way to describe it, yes.
Well, I think maybe in the future we can have like proof of work, proof of capacity kind of thing. Like if the people want to choose, you need to pay a bit more in a way that not money, but
Yeah, I
other
mean,
things. You can choose
proof of work for
proof
for
of
what?
capacity. Right,
Proof of
imagine.
capacity for what though? What are we talking about? Purchasing
choose.
eggs.
To choose, otherwise it would just randomly assign an egg or sperm to you if you know.
Okay.
I think there should be, I mean, I don't know. This is like really complicated societal planning. I don't know if I'm at that level, but I think there should be some, like, when it comes to visas for this country, right? They do it to a certain extent. Some you go through a certain application process. There are some people that if they're a spouse, they get in a certain line. If it's just, you know, applying for work, you're in a certain line. And then they also have a random like group of visas they'll give to people like as a lottery system. I think it should work
Yeah, I
somewhat
think
like
maybe
that.
EK's was actually the best. Just let nature do the
Or let
coding.
me, yeah, just I don't,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not,
like
I
do
don't
a
want to play God.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It should be.
just-
There should be an element of, you know, randomness to it. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
I'm a dude. When I what mine about when I got pregnant. When we got pregnant, you know, obviously, well, not obviously, but I mean, I wanted a boy. I wanted a boy. Of course, I wanted a boy. And guess what? I've had 2 girls. Shit happens. You know, it's too much choice. You shouldn't really have that much choice. You know. Now I would never change my girl. I would never change my girls. I'm glad I've got 2 girls. But if I was given the choice, then I'm gonna pick. And I think you need to have a little bit of randomness. You shouldn't be able to pick everything in life.
And that's
who
what's
said
happening
that
in
you couldn't-
China. In China, that's like part of the imbalance of the proportion in the society right now, right? Because everybody wanted boys, and now there's too much family planning. The family planning has gone way too far, and there's an imbalance. There are way too many men to women as far as a ratio, and they can't find spouses very easily. to have children. And then there's also aging population. People are working too much. There's just problem upon problem that's developing now. And now we've got the vaccine disaster on top of that. So it's like there needs to be a certain element of randomness, because the randomness is actually not random. It's a balance.
It's nature. It's nature.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what
It'll-
EK said, right?
Yeah.
Just listen to EK. He's normally
Yeah.
right.